How much I love for me as I tear off the if I know, nobody knows my pain. When I see that it's written, that full moon again. I know, but it knows, when I see that it's written, that full moon again. An old eagle told me, man, it's this little flute I play. But I never played in a light of day. But what did you play your flute? What do you play on your flute?
تعال واحد عشان كلهم مصريين فنايمين دلوقتي. عندك حد يتفرج؟ على اليوتيوب لا، بس على التيك توك كنت حوالي 300.
The werewolf, Michael Hurley from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, has long been living out in the Pacific Northwest. Michael Hurley, a man of many fine, eccentric songs. The Werewolf was on his
broadcast in 2020.
This summer, to learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification.
Judas Priest from Painkiller with Nightcrawler. And some Dokken, Nightmare on Elm Street music, Dream Warriors.
That Ivy learned from his father. But the word's hard to find now.
Fursuit. Odoo, what small businesses need.
Nearly every candidate running for city and school office in Columbus this year wants more oversight and changes to the city's use of tax abatement. The city, meanwhile, defend their use.
Unfortunately, these schools are the scapegoat at times and are used kind of to score cheap political points at different times.
Learn more about the city's tax breaks aimed at encouraging development. Listen Monday on Morning Edition from 5 to 9 on 89.7 NPR News.
In part 2 of Outlook from the BBC World Service, a horror film from Laos where a woman who's losing her eyesight starts to gain the ability to see the dead.
She looks in dark corners and she speaks and has these moments where she's almost in a trance and repeats numbers. And so she starts to push the idea that maybe it's not just hallucinations.
Coming up after the news.
BBC News with Chris Barrow. President Trump has denied reports that he's considering military strikes against Venezuela. His Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, delivered the same message, dismissing a newspaper report that strikes are imminent as a fake story. The massive U.S. military build-up in the Caribbean has raised fears in Venezuela. Media reports from Trinidad and Tobago, off the coast of Venezuela, say the country has been put on high alert and all military leave is cancelled. The government has not confirmed the reports. 2 federal judges have ruled that the Trump administration cannot suspend food aid for millions of Americans because of the government shutdown. They said the government must use contingency funds to pay for the benefits. Diplomats in Tanzania say there's credible evidence that at least 500 people have been killed in 2 days of clashes between protesters and security forces over disputed election results. Tanzania's foreign minister has denied this, telling the BBC the violence had been in isolated pockets. Several days on from Hurricane Marissa's battling of Jamaica, the situation in the small town of Black River remains desperate. People's homes and possessions are reduced to piles of debris. Residents have resorted to scavenging. Spain's Foreign Minister José Manuel Álvarez has acknowledged the pain and injustice inflicted on indigenous people during the Spanish conquest of the Americas, after Mexico renewed calls for an official apology. Thousands of demonstrators have returned to the streets of Garbes in southern Tunisia, calling for the closure of a phosphate factory accused of causing serious health problems. Marchers carried placards saying, "We deserve to breathe." China has sent its youngest ever astronaut into space. 32-year-old flight engineer Wu Fei and 2 other astronauts have docked with China's Chang'e space station, accompanied by 4 lab mice. That's the latest BBC News.
Welcome to part 2 of our Halloween mixtape. Hope you still have candles, nose shields, and blankets ready to go, because later in the program, we'll introduce you to Mexico's hard-pressing priests of the night. First, we're off to Laos to meet Maddie Doe, the first woman to direct a feature film. It's a horror film. Maddie's parents fled during the communist revolution in the 1970s, and she was born in California. But her dad went back in 2009, and Maddie followed with her husband and dog. Straight away, she started to make movies, drawing on her heritage and her perspective as an outsider. Her film, Dearest Sister, exposes tension between social classes in the capital, Vientiane, but it's primarily a ghost story. In 2016, Maddie told Nikki Paxman, why...
ايه ده كده نمشي؟ يا لهوي ضلمة. يا خبر ده مولد وصاحبه غايب.
I said 6:30.
بصي هناك، تعالي نروح هناك الجانب الآخر من العالم. هنطحن هناك لو رحنا. بيعملوا قاعد حزين ليه؟ انت بتعدي كده من نص الشارع عادي؟ عايز تموتنا بيه. كده؟ ايه اللي عامله حامل؟ واحدة متنكرة كأنها حامل. يا لهوي كل دي ناس سهرانة النهارده؟ الناس كلها بره.
Can I watch?
يا خبر. استنى اقفل هنا وافتح اي حاجة تانية. افتح تيك توك. استنى يا كوكو افتح التيك توك وانا اقفل ضمني.